Hello, my name is Jim Mullaney from SciTech Process Solutions. Today is Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018. Today I'm doing a source inspection on a semi-tool 480F as in Frank, spinner and strier. For the privacy of our customers, we do not give their names out on our videos, but these are uploaded to our YouTube website so they can review the video acceptance and authorize the tool for shipment. But for reference, the purchase order is PO 21862. I'm going to put this down for a second. This system is the F model. The F model looks like the newer S model. The big difference is it uses a brush motor and a ferrofluidic seal and has no servo amp and again no brushless motor. The options this customer decided to purchase was the anti-static module. That was the only option they purchased. This system has also been upgraded to the new SMC valves we do. The Humphrey valves have been discontinued, so we've converted over to brand new SMCs on all of the SciTech manufactured rinser dryers. The customer wants to run 8-inch. They have the traditional Integris A182 81M cassette. You'll see that in a second. This is the traditional 4-bolt rotor that matches the F model. This system has gone through a complete remanufacturing process. I'll describe that in a few minutes. What I'll do is I'll go over the process, and that way we can start it and then watch the wafers being cleaned, and then I can talk about our remanufacturing process. This also has the traditional semi-tool PSC 102 controller. I'll just kind of review the process we have in here now. Recipe 1, we have a rinse for 500 RPM for 60 seconds. Step 2 is the purge. What the purge does is it blows the DI water out of the DI manifold so it does not drip back in during the dry cycle. We have a purge at 10 seconds for 1800. The brush motor traditionally, and it will not get up to 1800 in 10 seconds because it ramps a little bit slower than the brushless motor. So you'll probably see this make it to about 1600 thereabout before it goes into the next step. And the next step is dry 1. That's 1800 for 90 seconds. What that step is meant to do is to use high RPM and sling the water off of the wafer, the cassette, the rotor, and then move into the next step, which would be the long 230-second dry 2 back down at 500 RPM. There was many studies done at semi-tool that if you can reduce the RPM, you can always, you traditionally get much better particle counts. What the semi-tool does is by going down to low RPM, utilize centrifugal force, the hot end 2 heater, and the bowl heater to dry the substrates and the process chamber. The process chamber has been reprocessed. We take out, and I'll review that in a second, and it's been reprocessed and put back in after being electropolished. You do not want to dry your bowl out totally. Again, back at semi-tool, there were studies done that if there's any water droplets will tend to hold any particles, and then they'll rinse away, versus if the bowl went totally dry, if there are particles, they'll become airborne in the turbulence of the spinning and then could lodge on the wafer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and load the system. Actually, I got to turn this off first. Back into the process mode. Alrighty, well, I'm back there now. Okay, let's go. Okay. Let me get the cassette. Here's your traditional Integris low-profile cassette. This is the Integris A192 81M. You simply load it into the tool and hit the start button. As you can see, we're step 1. We're starting to RPM ramping up, and there's the time. The DI water turns on. I like to always look at the back to make sure it's draining well. It is good. Also, on the back of the semi-tool spinner and dryers, what we do is we'll put on our ID tag labels. These will have the SRD number on it for inventory tracking. It also has information about our URL website. We also have stickers that say we offer 100% support in these tools. So what I'll do now, as we step through the steps, I'll review each step again, but in between the steps, I'll talk about our remanufacturing process. So what we do at SciTech, we don't care about how a system is purchased. And it can be small, a 2-inch system. It could be large, 8-inch system. It could be a 12-inch system. It doesn't matter to us. What we do, we actually tear the systems down and build them back up to meet the customer's specific criteria. I got 6 seconds here, so I'll go ahead and move past this. As I talked about that purge, you'll see. Okay, we're in step 2. We kind of go up there, and we are probably going to make it to about 14 or 1500. 14, 15, there we go. And now we're into dry 2, the high RPM. As you can see, it's running beautiful, smooth. it'll go up to full up to 1800. So what we do is we break the tools down to the base frame. We send out all the critical metal parts, the bowl, the N2 manifolds, anything that we feel is critical gets reprocessed and electropolished. We then start the dry manufacturing. What we do is we rebuild the ACR valves. We put in new SMC valves. We check all the heater blankets to make sure they ohm out correctly. We check the heating elements to make sure they work correctly. We rebuild every motor, be it a brush motor or a brushless motor. So all the subcomponents are rebuilt in on our test benches. Then we start the dry build all the way up. The dry build in manufacturing won't have no poly. It'll just be the head assembly on a stainless steel table being worked on. Once the technician feels that he's built the tool to 100%, he'll do dry testing with air and N2 only. And then after that, we'll have a second technician come do a quality control review of the tool. There's a checklist they go over. If acceptable, the tool then is brought into wet test. If not, there is documentation noted, and the tool is given back to the technician to make the needed repairs. I'll go ahead and wait for the last 20 seconds before I finish. Now it's 15 seconds, and I'll go into how we do our wet testing. As you can see, this is nice and smooth, beautiful. This customer actually received a free upgrade to fire retardant poly. We had a fire retardant poly in stock that we had recently done, and we decided to give the free upgrade. Okay, we're into dry 2 now. We're going to rack back down all the way to 500 like I was talking about. So when we, after the dry build, the head assembly by itself is brought into wet test. If you look over here, we're kind of busy in wet test. This is another customer's system that we're doing. This is what a system would look like when it comes into wet test. You can see there's no poly. It's strictly the head, an amp if needed, and the controller. Then the system is then DIs put to the tool. We make sure all the ACR valves are good. There's no leaks. We check all the valves, all the fittings, and so forth. Once that's done, we have another technician come in, review the quality checklist, make sure it's correct. If everything's good, it starts a 50-run cycle. At the end of the 50 runs, as long as there's no failures, it's then put in its configuration. That's when we put the poly on, like you see now. We then run it again, approximately another 50 times, and then with no errors. And after it passes that quality control, it's passed over to sales. We do the video for the customer, and we make ship it. Now what I'll do is I'll talk about our support. If you go to our website at sitechprocess.com, on the left-hand side, you'll see a variety of buttons for the different products we offer. The first 7 are all semi-tool. The first 3 are the tools. The F model, the S model, which is the newest system, and the traditional ST model. The next 3 buttons are all of the spare parts we offer. For all 3 versions, we offer 100% spare parts. We offer 100% service, 100% rebuild, controller repairs, motor repairs, amp repairs, ACR valve repairs, everything. We also have a U.S. lowest price guarantee that our price will be better than any company in the United States. If you look down the rest of our website, you'll see a few other products that we offer. We do front-end processing. We do a lot of mask cleaners. We are the U.S. leader in Integris box washers. And then we also do metrology tools, particle counters, KLA. We do Rudolph ellipsometers. We do high and low power microscopes. We've got about a minute left. One of the things I'd like to talk about now is that SciTech has recently developed the new S and F1 controller. It's the state-of-the-art replacement controller that can retrofit to a semi-tool spinner and dryer. It has capabilities far and beyond any controller of any manufacturer in the world. We also have a fantastic feature now called the N2 Purge Saver, which by push of one button on our controller, you now can turn off your N2 Purge. Your N2 Purge, we have studies done that you can save upward to 75% of your nitrogen while the tool's sitting idle. The customer can save between $4,000 and $6,000, even more if they have a larger tool. And we actually have a nice study we done. A customer can give us the cost of their N2 and their utilization time, and we'll send them a nice PDF report of the amount of nitrogen savings they'll have on every given head in the tool. You can find that on our website. If you search 906-02000, that is the part number for the S1. The S1 is for the S model rinser dryer. If you search 906-03000, that's for the F1 model, which is the F model. You'll see videos on there, you'll see spec sheets, and you'll have a lot of information on our N2 Purge Saver. Okay, so we have 30 seconds left. What I'll go ahead and do is at the end of this process, the system ramps down. There's a piston in the back called a rotor stop positioner, known as an RSP. It's on as the piston shoots up, it rolls on the cam that controls the rotor. It'll upright to what we call home position, which is 12 o'clock. What I like to do after that, you'll all hear the door release. I'll open it up. I'll take the wafers out, make sure they're dry. I like to feel for hot end too, and make sure everything looks good. All right, we're ramping down now. It ramps down pretty quickly, as you can see. There's a brake for the brush motor that's slowing it down. Alrighty, and there we go. Wait for the door to release. There we go, I heard the door release. So, first of all, let's take the substrates out. Look good. Nice and dry. I like to feel for the hot end too. And on this one, it is right back here. I can feel it. Alrighty, looks good. So, that will conclude this video source inspection of a fully remanufactured and fully refurbished semi-tool 480F spinner inch dryer. If there's any questions, you can feel free to go to our website at www.sitekprocess.com, which is S-I-T-E-K, then the word process.com. There you go, right there. And you can, from any part number on our website, you can contact sales or call us at 916-797-9000. That's our main office number, and you can ask for anyone in our sales department. Again, my name is Jim Mullaney. Today is May 2nd, 2018, and thank you very much.